not the no intro.
No intro. That's what we're doing. Everybody, welcome in Third and Teal. How 688. We're coming up on 700. Let's get to 1,000 before the season starts in terms of followers. A lot of people watching our videos and watching our shorts are not subscribed. About 99.99% of y'all, actually. So if y'all could hit that like and subscribe button. We have getting a lot of interaction, a lot of traction. Haven't been able to post as much lately. I'm sorry about that. Been a little busy with work and everything else, but y'all know how that goes. But yeah, thanks so much for all the blow up we've had lately. You guys are really, really bringing it along, really, really kicking it up for us. So I'm very excited about that. But in the building, Eric, how you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing great. And yeah, man, y'all keep it coming. We really appreciate you. And we're gonna keep putting out great content for you.
Absolutely. And Trevor, you're here too. How does it feel to get tased?
Yeah.
Oh.
He said he was switching over his Wi-Fi.
Nope.
That's a negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern is not full.
Fucking people here right now.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
All
right.
I can hear you now, at least.
Okay. Well, no, the taser fucking hurts a lot. A lot. Like, if you fight all because
nope. There you go again.
Maybe you need to switch back to the other.
There's too many people in this motherfucker, man. Family in town right now too, so it's just fucking.
Okay. I understand. Robert, hell yeah, we need a hunt vid weekly. I thought that's what we would get, Robert, but they put them out. That second episode was pretty good.
Yeah, I still
didn't watch the whole thing before we came on.
Yeah. Just show you the mentality of what this team is going to be.
So
I liked it a lot.
Okay, we can be pretty clear now, team.
Yeah.
So I would like to address something. If you had to say right now, league-wide, on our team, who is the most disrespected player on our roster?
Trevor.
Not Trevor.
BTJ.
Not BTJ.
I don't think BTJ is the most disrespected.
I do sometimes. Okay.
Travis Etienne.
No.
Nope.
I'll
give y'all a hint. He plays defense.
Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker is one of the most disrespected players in the entire NFL in terms of like nobody giving him his flowers or his credit. John Shipley had a good article about this. PFF left him off of the top 32 pass rushers.
Really?
He is one of 6 players to go back-to-back 10-plus sack seasons, double-digit seasons.
And they left him off?
One of 6. Yes, he was not on the top 32. There are not 32 edge rushers better than Trayvon Walker. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They said edge defender. They didn't say top 32 pass rushers. They didn't say, top. They said top 32 edge players.
Especially considering he's one of like 6 players to have back-to-back 10 sack seasons.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. He's one of 6 players to have back-to-back 10 sack seasons.
Brandon, you are absolutely right.
Bro, can I just say too?
And we got to talk about that right there.
What? And I mentioned real quick because I mentioned this to somebody on Facebook was like, "Oh, like he's so stupid," blah 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 blah. Like, stop hating on the young man. Let's say they do get divorced, and y'all are talking about, "Oh, he's got 46 million. Okay, let's say they do get divorced. Bro still got $23 million you'll never have in your life. So why are we out here hating on a kid for getting married to the woman he loves? Whether the stuff is true or not that they said about him, and I said some stuff on here that were narratives and stories, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't. But like, he's actually married now. He married the woman. He loves her. Like, why are we out here talking shit about him and praying on his downfall whenever he, it's just that's who he wanted to marry. Fuck it.
I'm not praying on his downfall. Yeah, he got married. My point was, especially when I said it on the LC South show, was if I was him, I would get me a new attorney, because your attorneys are the ones who's supposed to make sure you're taken care of. Now that all that money he signed, yes, it's just a rookie contract, but for him to get married, and they're both young, and not have a prenuptial agreement just to protect him, whether you would, put it in effect or not, it's just ridiculous to me. You have to see everybody looking at now. I'm thinking about what will happen in the future. Granted, they may not even break up. She may come out of her GD status and they be all right. But as of right now, no, I need to be you protecting my money. We can settle later after the fact. But right now, that's a lot of money.
None of that even matters. None of that even matters because bro is actually a genius and all the shit's in his mom's name.
You sure about that? Well, if that's the case, then
I'm not sure about that. But this dude is a scholar. I mean, his GPA is close to a 4.0. I mean, the dude's not dumb.
Most people, though, most smart people that do not get a prenup, it's because they actually genuinely believe that that marriage will last the rest of their life. And I get it from a money standpoint. It's a bad decision. I get that.
See, that's where I'm looking at it.
No, 100%, and I agree with that. But in Travis's mind, I guarantee you, he thinks this is the woman he's marrying and the woman he'll be with for the rest of his life. So there's no reason for that because they're not. That's not happening. They're going to stay together. Now, again, what will happen? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I just think people are obsessing over it a little bit too much. It's absolutely fair to have a criticism of what he is doing based on the fact that he is a professional athlete who makes millions of dollars. Sure, it's fair criticism, but people are like obsessing about it, making posts every day, talking about it.
That's just like obsessing over him stumbling on the one route we posted. Like, people are just hyper focusing on stuff. And then to bring up the prenup, it really doesn't even matter. Honestly, it has nothing to fucking do with him as a football player. However, if we're going to mention it, you got to mention the fact that that's just sowing a bad seed into your marriage right off the bat. Like, you're pretty much looking her in the face and saying, I know we're doing this because we want to be together forever, but I'm planning for us to not be together forever. Like, prenups are smart when it comes to a whole lot of money. They are. I understand that. But, like, you are saying contradictory things when you ask for one, because you can't look at me and say, I want to be with you forever. And then also say, but I need you to sign this paper that says I won't lose all my shit if we're not together forever. Well, like, which one is it? Do you actually believe we'll be together forever or not? You kind of got to kind of stay on one side of the fence.
Okay. But now see, now what we have is the new school and the old school. The new school say, okay, you really don't need it, blah, blah, blah. I say, hell yeah, protect yourself and protect your child's money for later on if y'all do have a child. See,
he's going to make plenty more money.
Well, that ain't the point, though. That's not the point. What if no, I'm not even going to say that. But anyway, the point is his attorney or representative, whoever did it, well, I ain't going to say whoever did it because they didn't do it. They should have put in, I'm sure he did, but I would have suggested strongly that he get a PDA, whether you use it or not. At least you have that just in case,
Yeah, I mean, that's the big crazy thing. It probably was. Like, I'm sure whoever represents him, his agent, his attorney, whoever it was, I'm sure they strongly advised him to do it, and he probably didn't do it. If I had to guess, like, because I mean, you got to think. I mean, all that money, legal advice. I mean, a guy like that, especially. I mean, shoot, I'm sure Dion said it. I'm sure everybody said it.
That is a question. I wonder, did Dion tell him just straight up?
Thank you, Mr. Roboto, for that commentary.
Yes. Robert says she schedules everything and buys everything for him like a manager. Keeps him on nothing but football and fishing. Okay. Hey, long as he get out there on the field and perform,
that's all I care about.
That's all I care about. Now, when you start messing with his head and it start affecting his play on the field, then we're gonna have to come find you. No, I'm not gonna say that. All right. Who is that?
That's Trevor.
Oh. That's Trevor trying to talk.
Probably.
But
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, as long as he's playing ball and doing what he needs to do, I don't really give a not that I don't care. I absolutely want the young man to succeed, and to have a successful marriage and love that woman and have kids, do whatever he wants to do. But at the end of the day, all I really care about is how he plays.
That's it. When you get on the field, I mean they've been together since high school, so that says something.
You can wish the best for him. You can wish the best for him while also being like, I really don't care about that. It's more about how you're going to play for my team. I mean, not to dehumanize him. You absolutely should care how he is as a human, how his life is going. But like at the same time, like we don't need to try and research into it and look into it and figure out every detail. Of him.
No.
I just want to see him play ball. That's the only reason. Travis Hunter got drafted to the Jaguars. That's all I want to see is him play for the Jaguars, man.
That's right, and be healthy.
Be healthy.
Be healthy.
Oh, please be healthy. That's that's what I. Yep, that's what I need.
Yes, that is exactly what we need. Him to stay healthy. All right, go ahead. Try it again, Trevor. I know you've been working on it. No.
Yeah, still low.
Okay.
I don't know. We definitely need to bring up the Cam Newton stuff, though. That's
what
pretty
about
cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What about Cam Newton?
Well, our clips were featured on Cam Newton's podcast.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Okay.
I think it was pretty dope because Cam Newton shares the same opinion as we do, and he's the first one to call it exactly like it was. And it might lag me out, but I think you should play the first few seconds of that episode.
Uh-oh.
And if it does, I'll come back. But because in the first few seconds, he played it literally is probably within the first 20 seconds of the episode where they show the clips and he says exactly the same things that we said. Like he's real simple about it. Like one word, bam, bam, bam.
When was it?
I have to look at exactly what it's been a couple of days now, I think. But let me see. Give me just 1 second. Because 6 hours ago he put one out and it wasn't that one. It's one that I watched. What the hell is it? Damn.
Did you have like a separate one just for sports or?
Yeah, it's that one. It's the one he's got that's it's like it's 4th and something, I think. 4th and 1 with Cam Newton.
Why
4th and 1 with Cam Newton. It was 5 days ago.
Okay. Well, why are you looking for that? The coach came out. Remember a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how Walker and Allen need to lose some weight because they put all that weight on last season and just got slow.
Lloyd and Allen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Anton put on a little bit too, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I know so. The ones that put on weight that were noticeable that like they mentioned specifically that I remember were Devin Lloyd, Josh Allen. They said Josh Allen was like 285.
Yeah, 285.
I was say, God Almighty.
I think Devin Lloyd was up to like 260 or 265.
Yeah, well, it showed because he was
Cisco was up to like 235 or something, or 220 or something like that. Hey, what up, Dave?
What up, man?
Oh, there goes my man, Dave. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Dave. Nothing. A proud Jaguar fan. We met at bowling tournament this weekend.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm stuck here in all this Houston Texan fan base land.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, we're just talking about a few things. Travis Hunter wedding.
Did you see that nice G-Wagon he got his wife?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $200,000 vehicle. Heck yeah.
And no prenup.
No prenup.
That's true love right there.
You sound like Isaiah now. Okay, that's the young stuff right there. Okay.
A lot of people don't give him credit. He was actually a pretty good student. Damn cat. He was a pretty good student in Colorado. He had a pretty good GPA, so the guy's pretty smart.
That's exactly what I said.
Exactly. That's my man Trevor over there to you right there. To your left, brother.
Oh, here we go.
And up top is Isaiah. Everybody, that's Dave.
What's up?
Excellent bowler. Hey, we may win some money this weekend. I don't know it yet.
That is
looks like it though.
Opposite of what I am. Excellent bowler is never anything I've been described as. So I'm glad that two of us in here are, because I'm sure not.
Shout out Curtis. We see you in there.
Hey, what up, Curtis? Let me pull this up real quick.
Okay.
I'm about to say, did you get the clip? I sent it to you.
Yeah. Let me pull up the screen. Sure, audio. No, not system audio. That's not gonna work.
All right, Dave taking us on a journey.
All right.
Dave's going up to the man cave.
Okay, good job. Good job.
You can literally go back to the very beginning. He brings it up like right off the rip.
I didn't hear it. They were just rapping and like having a good time at the beginning. Are you sure? Because like they're just doing a song for like in the subscribe dog section.
Oh.
This is like a whole section about him.
I was gonna say, okay, then yeah, it was a shorter clip. It was a shorter episode. I see what it was. Yeah. Yep.
This ain't the game. This is where you're supposed to get better.
Y'all hear
but his quarterback has his
This
back.
is it. Yep.
Here we go.
Catch.
Here it is.
That's our clip.
That's our clip.
Catch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Catch.
Bam. Simple.
Bad
one word.
All right, so here is Trevor Lawrence.
That's all.
Now, hold on. Oh, before we even get to that. No, hold on.
Because he'll go on to explain it, but we don't want to plagiarize, But, first of all, I want to say Cam Newton has been known to have some out-of-field fucking takes on some things. But in general, the man does know what he's talking about. In general. Like, as a whole. If you sit and listen to him, like, I listen to some of his stuff, and he knows what he's talking about when he's talking about anything other than himself. And
isn't that his favorite topic, though?
Hey, that's all that matters sometimes is what you got to say about yourself.
Right.
But when I heard him say catch, that's all that mattered to me, because we put those clips out and it started this whole controversy about Travis Hunter's hand and his catching ability and this, that, and the third. And it went to Sports Illustrated where they're talking about it. It was on Whistle Sports where they're talking about it. It's been on this one and that one and this person and that person. And everyone's saying, can Travis Hunter even be a good receiver? You guys have lost your fucking mind. That guy has some of the most elite body control I've ever seen in my life. Like, he contorts his body to the ball in ways I've never seen a receiver do since, like, literally other than Justin Jefferson. Like, Justin Jefferson, that's what he does. That's what makes him great, is his ability to contort his body, and his hand-eye coordination and his ball skills are just on another level. You cannot compete with them. You just can't. Mm-hmm. And as much as I love Jamar Chase is more explosive than Justin Jefferson. That's why he is an overall. That's why people put him in the same, realm. It's not because he has that same body control. Now he has the same level of ball skills. He'll go get the damn ball.
Right.
But there's
nobody on that point though. Give Justin Jefferson Joe Burrow throwing him the ball. Let's talk about that.
Well, Justin Jefferson is still, in my opinion, he's still the best receiver in the league overall. I think you do see Jamar Chase shine more because of his quarterback. Because Joe Burrow, in my opinion, I think Joe Burrow is easily a top 2 quarterback in the league. And if it wasn't for the fact that the rest of his defense was a wet paper fucking bag, this guy he would have won MVP last year. I think the only reason he didn't is because they didn't make the fucking playoffs. Because he had the numbers, he had everything on his side to be the MVP, and he didn't get it because they got shafted out of the playoffs.
Well, it's not really an MVP award. It's the best quarterback in the league, because I really think Saquon should have been the MVP last year.
I agree, but I don't agree. I don't agree. Because,
the answer to your question is yes, Curtis. Go ahead.
Yes, Curtis, he will be. We'll get to that. But I don't agree that – I don't think Saquon should have been. I think because you still had the greatest offensive line in football. You had one of the best defenses in football. That defense won you the fucking Super Bowl. That defense took you through the playoffs. Now, did he carry their offensive production for like 5 to 6 games? Absolutely. But when you look at this Cincinnati team, if you want to say the most valuable player, without Joe Burrow, that's maybe a 2-win team.
Oh, easily. But how many touchdowns did Saquon lose to the tush push?
It's not about that. I mean, if you take Saquon off of that team, that's still a 10-win team.
Oh, no, not a chance.
No.
Absolutely. No, 9 to 10 wins. Absolutely.
Saquon, if it weren't for the fact that they pulled Saquon in multiple games, he'd have broke the rushing record by like 400 or 500 yards.
No, I know that.
He'd broke the touchdown record too.
That team is still a 9 to 10 win team. It's still going to the playoffs. I promise.
No,
I don't think so.
Not a chance. Yes, you can't, because then you don't have to stack the box. You can play a big nickel dime defense and double team AJ Brown all day long.
Yeah, but my point is, it's Saquon excelled absolutely because he is the greatest running back in football right now, hands down. But what I'm saying is, you can put an above average running back there and still get great numbers because they have the best offensive line in all of football. Like, it is not even close. It's not even close. So that being said, you still get a great run game from that offense because they have that offensive line and their scheme is built for it. So, I mean, I'm not saying that he's the one. All I'm saying is he's not the only reason that team was good. Joe Burrow is the only reason that Cincinnati was a 9-win team. Without him
beating you with his arm.
I agree with Trevor on that one. I got to go with Trevor on that one.
Joe Burrow is absolutely the most valuable player to his team in all of football last year. Now is Saquon the most valuable player maybe to the Eagles? You know, maybe you think that, sure, whatever. You know, you could have that debate, but like I said, like you could take someone. Like, all right, yeah, look at Curtis. There's a reason the Ravens brought in Henry. Got to respect the run. What happens? Lamar's best season throwing. Absolutely, because they had to respect Henry. But everyone has to respect the run game in Philly. It's not – they didn't just start respecting the run game because they got Saquon. They've always respected it, but they absolutely started paying a lot more attention because of how good Saquon is.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that anyone was just thinking, oh, the Eagles can't run. The Eagles have always been able to run the fucking football. They have some of the greatest – they got first ballot Hall of Famers littered through that line for the past decade. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. Those guys can always fucking run the ball. And I mean, you literally look at this Cincinnati team. Like, literally, if you look at the Eagles and you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, even let's say the Eagles don't win 10 games. They at least win 5 or 6 easily. They at least win 5 or 6 without them. No ifs, ands, or buts. Because their defense is just that fucking good. Okay?
I mean,
and then you go and look at this Cincinnati team.
I'm going to chime in on this real quick.
They're not winning anything.
Real quick, I'm going to chime in on this because Hurts, I get what you're saying. I understand it. I don't agree with it. Hurts this year with a great running game, mind you, had 18 passing touchdowns to 5 interceptions with 2,900 yards.
Yep.
Any other running back that's not Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry, he's not doing that. He's going to have to be forced to do more. He's not going to have 14 touchdowns on the ground.
And I think he can, though. I mean, they made it to the Super Bowl 2 years ago without Saquon. I mean, they can absolutely do it. Their defense is that good.
They can, sure. I mean, they had a great defense. That's but I'm saying,
point, though. See,
but
they can.
But this past year, though, you take away Saquon. I mean, they're not winning 12 games. They're not winning 10 games. I mean, Jalen Hurts had a mediocre season.
Absolutely,
on a great team.
But is it a mediocre season because of Jalen Hurts, or is it a mediocre season because he didn't have to because they had Saquon? Like, that's what you really got to look. No, hold on. That's not.
I mean, Hurts has never taken them, though, is the problem. Hurts has never been the reason they've gone to the playoffs.
I've been having that argument with a buddy of mine for a long time. I completely agree with you there.
I mean, what was their other Super Bowl year with him? Was it 21 or 22?
It was the year before last.
So 22, he had 3,700 yards and 22 touchdowns with 6 interceptions. I mean, that's a solid season, but
it is a solid year. No, they were never going to win because of him, and I agree with that. I don't think by far the MVP of that Eagles team is Jalen Hurts. I mean,
you think about it though. Let's just take a step back here. Let's say Saquon Barkley gets the 12 touchdowns that were taken away from him. He's up to 24 rushing touchdowns on the season. He's got over 22 to 2,300 yards if they don't pull him out of a couple of games. Let's say let's go on the conservative side. He's got 2,200 yards. He still rushed for 2,000. At the end of the day, I honestly think that Saquon, he should have been the MVP, but the fact that Hurts took those touchdowns away from him took it away. I agree with the Burrow take, but I don't agree with the Burrow take. I don't think Burrow's as good as they say he is. I think he's really good.
That's crazy.
Hold on. Relax. I think he's really good, but he also has had 2 number ones to throw to his whole career. I mean, Jake Browning came in and won like 5 games for them. Jake Browning.
Yeah. I agree.
their defense. I mean, their defense is the only reason they're not a great team. If they had a great defense and another quarterback, I mean, they're a playoff team every year.
But I think that makes the whole argument though for Joe Burrow versus Saquon. Like literally what you just said. The difference between this Cincinnati and this Eagles team is the Eagles do have the great defense that still will carry them to more wins than what the Bengals would have gotten.
Okay, but that's not the point though, because if they make the playoffs, I mean, because they have a better defense and a different quarterback, then they don't have the MVP. I mean, it doesn't mean that Joe Burrow is not the one carrying the team, but at the same time, other quarterbacks come in and win games that are nowhere near his level. Like I think we overblow Joe Burrow a little bit. I'm not saying he's not a great quarterback, but he's not top 2. I mean, I'd take Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson over Burrow any day of the week.
I take Josh Allen for sure. I don't know about Lamar though.
That means you're putting Pat Mahomes under him.
No, I won't say he's like certified top 2 overall. Like if you're saying as an overall, I'm saying last season alone. But as a consensus, like say for instance, since these guys are in the league, let's say past 5 years.
I mean, he probably led the
Pat
league.
Mahomes number 1.
He probably led the league in attempts too.
Probably. I mean, they can't run the ball. They don't have.
I mean, all they do is throw. I mean, it's just I get it, and I get they have a great O line, but I mean, we're taking away from Saquon because they have a great O line, and then giving to Burrow because he's
I don't take away from Saquon. His greatness is undeniable. It's not that I don't think Saquon was not great. He was absolutely great. I just think if we're talking about what player was more valuable to their team, I think if you take Saquon away from the Eagles, they still win at least 5 or 6. If you take Joe Burrow away from the Bengals last year, they might win 2. That's what the MVP should be about. Like who was carrying their team harder? Because yes, absolutely Saquon was a fucking unstoppable force. But at the same time, take Joe Burrow off that Cincinnati team, they do not win 4. I promise you. They don't fucking win 4. They were abysmal in every other facet. You take them away, they don't win 4. You take Saquon away, that defense is good enough to win you at least 5 or 6. Like, that's one of the best defenses in football altogether.
I still say I agree with Trevor. When he puts it like that, I agree with Trevor.
And then you look at this.
Because I'm sitting here thinking like, if you take both of them players away, who still has a better chance of winning? And without a doubt, it's Philly.
Absolutely, it's Philly. Yeah. It's not that it's not taken away from his greatness. It's just that he absolutely has a better supporting cast, and the MVP should be about like if we're literally truly talking about the essence of most valuable player to your team. That's Joe Burrow. He is absolutely the most valuable player to his fucking team.
I'm going to raise you something though on that argument about the fact that Philly's defense is good enough without. So 2017, Jacksonville had the best defense, if not a top defense all time. 2017. Okay. 2018, basically the exact same defense. We run it back with almost the exact same defense, but we can't keep the offense on the field.
Yep.
And all of a sudden that defense is winded and tired, and there's people getting hurt left and right. I just want to say that like just taking away the player that drives the offense can completely change a defense no matter how good they are.
I agree.
Now I'm not saying that they're equal. I do think that the Eagles defense right now is built deeper than our defense was back then.
Absolutely.
But I'm just making the point that like you can't just take away a player and then say, oh, like the defense is going to be the exact same, because honestly, both sides, of course, affect the other. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, man. It's tough for me because I mean, Burrow, he's a great. I'm not saying he's not good.
Even with that argument right there, Philly has the better defense. So
no, I agree they have the better defense.
I agree that they get winded. I just think that even winded Philly defense is enough to carry them to 5 or 6 wins. I mean, you can't convince me otherwise. They have too many fucking freaks of nature, dude. Like Jalen Carter, that guy alone will win you a football game. Like you cannot stop him. You can't. That was evident. It was put on prime time for the whole league to see in the Super Bowl. You can't stop him.
Right.
You can't. Quinyon Mitchell, bro, he's an island. An absolute island.
Oh.
I mean, okay. You got the exciting whites in Blankenship and Cooper DeJean.
Dude,
that's what they're called. Whites. That's what they call them. I'm sticking to it because I love it. You got the exciting whites, dude, and they're literally unstoppable. I mean, literally, that defense is insane, and that's not even to mention Sweat that they had. That's not to mention Bond that they just paid because he went absolutely fucking berserk. Like, dude, there was no you would have to wear them down to hope you had a chance. And even without Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown is good enough that he is going to bully ball your DB at least twice a game. He does it every game.
Devontae Smith, man.
No, Devontae Smith starts shining when A.J. Brown starts bully balling. That's when it happens because A.J. Brown runs 20 yards.
Right. Is this third and Teal or is this tush and push? All right, let's get back to the Jaguars here.
Hey, it's football, man. It's football.
You know what? Are y'all like me wishing we'd have drafted Cooper DeJean a couple of years ago?
I wanted him so bad, man. I wanted Cooper DeJean so bad.
He is so bad. I literally remember saying in that draft, well, we just let Philly walk away with DB University. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. That was
I wanted Quignon or DeJean. I wanted DeJean a little bit more because I think he's a better tackler, and he's a forceful tackler, not just a better tackler. But they unfortunately we did not get either.
Third and push.
No, it'd be fourth and push. But yeah, sure there, Curtis.
Well, speaking of push, our quarterback had some comments to say about the tush push and its potential banning, and he just re-solidified why he's a fucking dog, and I love him because he said that play doesn't matter. It's 1 yard. If you're getting beat by that one play, you've got a lot bigger problem.
1 yard.
Mm-hmm.
But you know why? I will say, you know why he can confidently say that? He can confidently say that because if this defense managed to stop one fucking thing last year, it was the tush push. That was it. That's the only damn thing they stopped last year. They couldn't stop a bloody nose, man, but they stopped that. That was it. That's the only thing.
You know what's
twice?
What the twice? Teams bitching and moaning about the tush push. Hey, guess what? You can line up and do the same damn play.
No, you can't because you don't have the best offensive line in football. You could try it. And there are teams that do. There are teams that try it and look at their success rate versus the Eagles. The reason people were mad about the Eagles running is because, unfortunately, they're just really fucking good at it because they have the best offensive line in football.
Exactly.
It's exactly. And the thing is, I don't like Philly, but what I do like is individual players that shine at their position. Lane Johnson, greatest of all time.
Let's go back to Curtis. Curtis had a statement up here earlier that we definitely need to talk to. Basically, what he said is if Travis Hunter, right, flames out at wide receiver, but is still good at cornerback, does that make the pick worth it? Hell yeah.
Well, because there is a way that he completely flames out at wide receiver. I don't think there's a way that happens. I think you might see a way that, like, it's not working out to the extent we wanted, but there's still going to be packages for him because of his elite ball skills and his body control. There's absolutely no way he completely flames out at wide receiver. So absolutely. Exactly. And just the fact that we can bring him in a multi-tool and that you feel like you have to game plan for him on both sides, that makes him worth it just by himself. Even if he doesn't play both ways. Even if we come in and we make you think he's going to play both ways this week, but he only plays one side, you still wasted your time game planning for him on the other side of the ball, which means you have less preparation for another guy on the field.
You know, one thing I see them doing a lot with Hunter is doing a lot of jet sweeps with him also.
I hope we don't. I don't think we have the offensive line to do it. We don't have the offensive line to pull that shit off.
Not with what we had last year.
And I don't think we have it this year. I think what we have now, we have a Band-Aid line. It's a Band-Aid line. Now maybe it's an ace bandage line. It's a little tighter than a Band-Aid because we've got some aging players. They're not all old as shit, but like they are aging, and they've been known to be good in the past. But it's a typical. This right here is typical Jaguar shit. Is bring someone in on free agency and expect them to be the future, and they're not.
Yeah, we're notorious for overpaying free agents.
You're absolutely right, but I think Gladstone has taken us in a different direction, and I think that now that they're coming into this, we will do what we think is best, regardless of what the fucking league thinks about it mentality, which is what they've shown us already. Mm-hmm. I think he was absolutely honest when he said we did what we could this year to address everything at once, but we will continue to build through the draft. Not free agency. That's what you need to do. You have to. That's why our 2017 defense was so good. It was all homegrown talent except AJ Bouye. All of them. They were all drafted. I mean, we drafted them all.
We didn't draft Calais.
Well, no, we brought in Calais. I'm saying all the stars. Like we brought in Calais and AJ Bouye. But the rest of that defense.
Barry Church, Tayshaun Gibson were our starting safeties.
Those were not the bona fide stars. They were good. The whole defense was good.
I mean, they were the bona fide starters. They took.
No, I know starters. I'm talking stars.
You had Puzzett linebacker from
Buffalo. Came from Buffalo. But I'm saying the bona fide stars like Ramsey. You got Ramsey, Yannick. Yannick Ngakoue was a star at the time. Like people were really high on Yannick. It was crazy that we got rid of him. That people shit on us for that for a long time. I mean, really, they did. Fowler, same
the 17 defense.
Delvin Smith.
The reason why it was great is because it got so many turnovers. We had a turnover margin that year that was unbelievable.
Absolutely, and it was because we got so much insane pressure that you felt you had to toss the ball up, and every one of your receivers were on an island.
Yep.
That's what our fucking philosophy was, and we had fast ass linebackers that would bring the absolute Mack truck of a fucking hit on you.
Yeah, Miles Jack still ain't been touched.
No, he's not. He's still not down. He's still running somewhere out there. But that being said, though, like that was one of our biggest things. Was like a lot of our stars were developed talent, and then what do? Go be free, go flourish everywhere but here. Like, crazy because like Tom Coughlin, Jalen Ramsey will fizzle out because of his personality. Well, he's got a first ballot Hall of Famer career now almost. Like, I mean, that worked out for you, didn't it? Like, way to go, man. We drafted one that we didn't even get to fucking keep. Ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It really is. Like, and that's honestly, that's what we're known for. Sending our fucking talent somewhere else so they can go be great for somebody else. And then it's debatable about what team they'll want to enter the fucking hall with. And Curtis, to answer your question about Telvin had a lot of off the field issues. Like Telvin went through a lot of stuff, and a sibling died, and he just never came back.
And some other things, yeah.
And then he did some other things. Yep,
he's going crazy right now, dude. He's like posting.
He is. I was about to say, have you seen his recent?
Yeah, he's like schizo posting. And
you guys got to see this though. Just like everybody knows, I love him as a player. He was a good player for us. He did a lot of work for us, and he was a dog. And it's sad to see the way that his life took a turn because sometimes that happens to people, man. Like
it happens.
A traumatic event just throws you off the rails, and you never find your way back. And that is the definition, Telvin Smith. And then like another example, Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette had some injury issues, but I think that Jacksonville team at the time, we were shitty about dealing with our people with injuries. I mean, Blake Bortles needed shoulder surgery since week 2 the year before, and still didn't let him get it the year after. Like, we were shitty about handling injuries. And everyone's like, oh, Leonard Fournette's washed up. Well, then he goes on to become fucking playoff Lenny and gets a Super Bowl ring with Tom Brady. Like, I mean, all the shit that we were being told was like, oh, this guy's not what we thought he was. We're going to ship him off. They all went off to do great things, man.
Yes, and yes.
Playoff Lenny. Amen. Yeah, Curtis.
What?
Playoff Lenny.
Last year was the first time we actually signed our own players to extensions. Was it last year or the year before?
It was the
year
year
before. I think it was last year.
No, last year.
Last year we signed Bortles. I'm not Bortles, but we signed Trevor.
Yep. No, we were talking about that because we signed Trevor and Josh, and we were talking about how it was big for us to actually sign our own people for once.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, see, that's just like, I know they didn't pick up Devin Lloyd's fifth year option, but if he goes and balls out this year, will we re-sign him?
He'd have to really go balls out.
Yeah. He's a liability in the passing game.
He is, and I think they know that. And honestly, that's what I think is one thing that stood out like uniquely to me about this regime that we have now is like last year we're screaming at the TV like, what the fuck is Devin Lloyd doing, and is someone going to help this man? Because week in and week out, he's lost. I don't care what the reason is. Like, there could be a million excuses. It could be scheme. It could be – I don't really give a shit. Somebody figure it out because this guy is a problem. Like, this is a problem. And everybody just kept playing like it was just fine, and he's just running back out there starting like it's just fine.
Yeah.
But this year – and then you see the PFF come out, and he's graded number 7 as linebackers. I don't know how the fuck they came up with that.
Because he had a down year, he's still one of the best run stoppers in the league. That's
good
all
at run stopping.
And I think what they didn't do on those lists, I think they did not clarify what they were talking about. Because while Trayvon Walker, let's just the reason I say that is because Devin Lloyd made it. What, he's number 7 on that list.
Yeah, and, linebackers. Yeah.
Okay, and I think they were talking about run stopping, and when it comes to the edge rushers one, I think they were purely talking about rushing the quarterback because Trayvon Walker doesn't get the grade and the pressure rate that other people get because, of course, we have 0 interior defensive line, and he's not Josh Allen. He gets compared to Aiden Hutchinson, but all the people they put above him were like pure pass rushers who are not good in the run game. I think they just didn't put out and again, PFF's also just dumb sometimes, but I think they were grading certain things and didn't really say what they were grading. They just put it out as a.
They grade him as a DE or as a linebacker.
Who, Walker?
Yeah,
they did them all as edge rusher. Okay. So that includes Josh Allen, Myles Garrett, all those guys. I think
they should.
I think they did not clarify that they were going as run stopping linebackers or against the run or just pure pass rushing edge rushers. And again, or they're just dumb. And that's a very good possibility because it's PFF. But that's the only way I can justify Devin Lloyd being top 10 and Trayvon Walker not even being top 32.
I swear. But then, I think that's exactly what we're talking about, though, is the rest of this league's just looking at Devin Lloyd like, oh, he's good, he's good. I don't know what fucking games you guys were watching, but he was horrible. I don't know what you guys were watching, but he's almost single-handedly gave away the Bears game.
I was just thinking about that.
I mean, literally, he was fucking horrible.
He made Komet look like a Hall of Fame tight end in that game, man.
Right, and you think about this, you got the rest of this league that's looking at him like, oh, he's good, he's good. James Gladstone comes in and is like, nah, fuck that, I ain't sold on that guy.
I found it.
It's run stopping, isn't it?
So his run defense grade was number 16. He's at 84.2, but his pass rush grade was 88, which was put him at 4th. And then they had him as a 62.6 on his coverage, which was 64th. I mean, not great. But when you're comparing him to all linebackers and he has a number 4 pass rush and a number 16 run defense, that's probably why they put him in there.
Okay. I can see
that. You talk about him being high on the pass rush, but God, I can't remember him getting in on the quarterback.
He got 2 sacks this year.
That's why his pass rush is so high, because the 1 or 2 fucking times they did it, he ended up getting through there.
Which honestly, again, that's why I think this is more of a scheme thing. We drafted a 3-4 outside linebacker who rushes the passer. Mm-hmm. And put him at middle linebacker and are expecting him to be a future green dot guy. I mean, he plays good against the run and he can rush the passer. I mean, that's stuff we knew about him coming out of college, but he was never known as a coverage guy. It's my thing is, but I don't think they're going to move him back to outside linebacker. I think they're just going to work with him and actually teach him how to play middle. Maybe, I don't know, but I mean, it's just that's my thing too. Is we drafted a 3-4 pass rushing outside linebacker and then put him at middle linebacker and we're like, okay, here's this scheme that nobody understands. And half the defense is running cover 1 high and half the defense is running cover 3. Go do it and figure out which half you're on. I don't think Devin Lloyd as a whole is a bad player. I think that he's got redeemable qualities. He is a thumper when he hits. I think that he's not a pass coverage guy, and we knew that coming out of college.
When you said that, who immediately came to my mind? Chase on.
Yep.
They did the same thing. The same thing happened to him.
Well, he came out and he just had 3 or 4 sacks last year with the Raiders, didn't he?
Yeah.
And they just sent him after the quarterback.
If that's what he does well, why not utilize it? I mean,
really.
That's what I was saying earlier. It was there's a collective of reasons that he had a down year.
Yeah, he started 4 games. He played in 15. He had an interception, 1 forced fumble, 2 passes defended, 5 sacks, 32 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 8 QB hits.
Yeah, Caleb on putting that work in. Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just – and honestly, too, when he was here, he had – probably 10 to 15 almost sacks every year. He overshot the quarterback every time. I'm not saying we should have kept Caleb on. I want to go on record. I just think that, again, that's another player that the Jaguars as an organization let down by drafting them when they do something and forcing them to do something else and expecting them to just work out.
Trent Baalke, M.O.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
The Balkanator.
But I think him missing his, like Cedric just made a great point. If he was so good, they would have picked him fifth year. Cedric, I think he's a lot better than what the tape last year showed because he's being misused. But I think they also know that he's probably not exactly what they're looking for, which is why they took a guy like Jack Kaiser. Because they've got a lot of faith in Jack Kaiser. Which you watch the tape on the guy, you have no choice but to agree with him. Like, dude looks like an absolute monster. Like, and he's fast. Like I saw him in person. Like his translation, footwork, his speed. Like that guy's going to be a problem if he's got the brain. And from everything you see on his college tape, he's got the brain. We'll see how it translates to the NFL. But if he can put it together in his head, oh my God, he's going to be fucking good.
You know, one thing I've been out here in Houston area. One thing I've been reading a lot. I get to see a lot of videos. I hear that we have got some speed on the defense this year,
we do. We are wicked fast. Wicked fast. Like Ransall, fast. Really fast. Really, really fast. Jarian was fast. Tyson Campbell's not exactly slow. He's fast.
Right.
Jack Kaiser's fast. Ventrell Miller is a fucking heat-seeking missile.
Yep.
I mean,
but that's one of the things that jumped out. I said it all last year. Where is our speed? We're slow. I mean, good Lord.
And I don't think it was physically slow, though. I think it was mentally slow. I think we were mentally slow.
Well, I think
Isaiah makes Isaiah. I know you did. Like Isaiah made the perfect point when he brings it up. Like we literally found the one play. I don't remember. It was in the Chicago game, but like half the team's playing cover one high, and you get the rest of the team fanning out like this shit's cover three. Like they don't know what was going on. Nobody knew their assignment, like at all. Nobody knew their assignment. And I think if you're looking at future plans for this defense, and you see the speed we've got, and you got a guy like Campolini, okay. We've never seen him in a full coordinator role, but what we do know about him is he's very he's very direct. Like if you go back and you watch a lot of the hunt type videos from Green Bay, and you watch the background that we got on him when they brought him in, the guy's very direct. He's not going to be the guy that's out here playing all this cute bullshit. I have a strong feeling he's going to be out here like, we got motherfuckers that can run. So if you want to try to outrun them, good luck, because it's a fucking track day now. Good luck. And then if you try to run up the middle on us, we got absolute head-hunting animals. Do it if you want to.
With us not taking the fifth-year option on Lloyd, if he does put a good year on tape, I think one of two things are going to happen. If he puts a good year on tape, they re-sign him and they get rid of Luakon. Yep. Or if he doesn't have a good year, they keep Luakon till the end of his contract and they let Lloyd walk. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think they keep both of them going into next season. I think if Lloyd plays well, if they feel like they can advance him further going into the future, but he's 26 years old. Lloyd's 32 at this point, 33. Or he might be 30. I don't know, but I don't know, man. They've already shown a tendency. Luakon.
I think Luakon's like 29, 30.
Yeah, I mean, they've shown a tendency to not care about people who got brought in under the last regime. But you got to pay one of them.
He's 29 years old.
He's 29?
Yeah.
Well, maybe, but I don't think.
I'm going to be honest. I was about to say, honestly, if it's me, I'm keeping a Luakon. I'm letting a Luakon take Jack Kaiser right under his wing because a Luakon is an absolute brainiac on the defense. He's the QB of our defense. There's hands down, no debating that.
That's it. I think
you keep a Luakon. You put Jack Kaiser right to his side. You let him train him up. Like develop him, and unfortunately, you put Devin Lloyd on the other side. Give him this year, and he's going to be what he's going to be, and we just got to accept that because I have a lot of faith in Ventrell Miller and his development as well. And I think that if we force the issue on trying to develop Devin Lloyd, we're going to stunt the growth of Ventrell Miller, and we'll waste an absolute freak of a guy. Like I think that we saw out of college, Ventrell had some weaknesses, but I think Ventrell has a lot of upside. Like he sees ball, he gets ball. And that's just as simple as it needs to be.
That is.
I mean, maybe you don't need to put Ventrell at middle linebacker. You know what I mean? You don't need to. You got a guy like Jack Kaiser. Jack Kaiser could be here a very long time if he gets the right training, gets the right development. Foye Oluokon's the right guy to give it to him.
Yes.
And I don't think we have to force the issue with Devin. I think that's exactly why we didn't take the fifth-year option. I think they drafted Jack Kaiser specifically so they're not trapped with Devin Lloyd.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
Well, damn. Everybody agreeing for a change. Oh, no. What's really going on? Serge said, thank goodness we don't have that fucking hockey scheme shit going on, switching players out when they don't need breaks.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And Curtis dropped a big comment on us.
Where is it? What?
Yeah.
But Houston is taking the old line blocking responsibility away from the center and giving it back to CJ. Overthinking may have caused the issues on our end, so it's universal.
I think it's gonna be hard to see what CJ does though now, because CJ already made it clear last year he was seeing ghosts. He was scared of that.
Being here in Houston, that's all I get to hear is Texan crap. All I'm gonna say is they gave up Laramie Tunsil for Cam Robinson.
Y'all welcome.
I told him, I said, I hope for CJ's sake that he doesn't start, but I hope for everyone else's sake he does start.
Yeah, y'all welcome.
No, Curtis, you're right. He wasn't making any adjustments. That my point is like even with one less responsibility on him, he was seeing ghosts. I can only imagine what it'll be like when CJ has to drop back, because I don't give a shit what protection CJ puts. Cam Robinson's a fucking airport turnstile. You better hope he's not starting, because I don't give a shit what protection that CJ calls. He's gonna give it up. I don't care what it is. Like, it will happen. And the fact of the matter is, Curtis, like we talked about this on the last AFC South show I was on, was that, we don't feel like it was a complete job done to that offensive line. You addressed a couple things, and you're more hopeful, but is it kind of like how we felt about our line in Jacksonville? I feel like in Jacksonville we definitely did more significant strides to our line, but I feel the same way. I don't feel like we made a complete repair there, and I think Texans are in the same place. And that being said, it doesn't matter what protection he calls, unless these guys just randomly step to the next level of elite. He's still just as fucked as he was last year, except for now he's got to make an extra decision pre-snap and then hope that he's not getting put on his back in a second later.
You're asking for a lot there, Curtis.
CJ has a tendency to hold onto the ball way too long. He will hold onto that ball until the last. That's another reason why he gets hit and sacked so much.
Yeah,
Robinson's not average, Curtis. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're asking a lot for Robinson to at least be.
The only thing that Robinson is an average grocery bagger. That dude needs to just hang him up.
Hey, how's Harrison, our left tackle, looking?
Harrison. Well, Harrison was on our right side, but Harrison.
I saw a depth chart that had him on the left side.
I don't think he will be on the left side because it's not natural to him. And but I think with Harrison, what we saw last year from Harrison, I think was regression. But I don't think it was regression solely from Harrison. Harrison was playing through a lot of injuries, but not just that. Brandon Scherf was just straight.
There you go.
Ass last
there
year,
you go.
He was.
That
horrible.
Was a lot of his problem. Yes.
Yeah. He was horrible. So you got Anton's trying to play savior inside and out.
Anton was a left tackle in college, wasn't he?
No, I mean not natural in the NFL, because they tried him there and it didn't work out very well. That's why we threw him.
No, to the right. They didn't try him there. They moved him to the right because we had Cam Robinson and Walker Little.
Already. No, they tried him in preseason, I thought, and it just from what I remember, I remember a press conference where, honestly, it could have been either way, because I'm still trying to decipher some of Doug's cryptic, stupid ass messages that don't make any fucking sense.
I don't think they liked him enough in the run game to put him at left tackle, and we also had Cam Robinson under contract. For 2 or 3 more years. In college.
Cedric said, in case you didn't know, Ransall would be the fastest safety in the draft if he wasn't listed as a corner. I think we're going to play Ransall as a safety where he should.
Yeah, he's playing as safety.
Yeah, natural. It's natural for
him. We have to. I mean, honestly, I don't trust Eric Murray as far as I could fucking throw him.
Yeah, one thing I will say too about I know in drills they have had Anton doing right tackle snaps and like drills and everything, and like they've done them side by side, and him and Little are going on drills at the same time, pushing opposite directions. So I think they're leaving him at right, but I'm hoping that he strengthens up a little bit. I mean, that's been his biggest knock since he's came out, is he's not super strong. He doesn't handle great players one-on-one because he can't physically do it. I'm hoping he gets better, because he's let up a lot of sacks and QB hits over the past couple of years just because of his strength. And he struggles with speed rushers a little bit because if they get around the corner on him at all, he can't physically get under him.
I think him and Walker Little suffer from a lot of the same things in that regard. Like when Walker Little gets beat, it's because he got manhandled, or they just ran right by him. Like he's very good at handling finesse moves. Like if they're trying to finesse him, Walker Little's on that. Like for the most part, you're not finna finesse him out of the way. But like if you're just freakishly fast or just really strong, he's fucked.
He got pushed back into the quarterback a lot last year too.
Well, that's what also ruined our season before because he got fucking manhandled right into Trevor's ankle.
Yeah, that part.
He does get overpowered, just like all out overpowered a lot, and it sucks. So I mean, if Walker puts we've said this on the show before, Dave, and I know you're newer to the show, so like, we ruined Walker Little. Now, is he redeemable? That's what remains to be seen. But we ruined him
this year.
We ruined him, okay? Because he had so much potential when he got here, and we just shoved that motherfucker on the shelf, and he did nothing but get a little bit smaller and a little bit slower, and he's never come back. Now we're throwing him into the fire, and we're just like, be a starter, and he's like, I never got that opportunity. I don't know what the fuck you want me to do with this. Like, it's hard to see. It is hard to watch because, like, it's part of that. Like, I've had a big thing on the channel over the last year since we've been doing this show, and I'm so glad that, like, Gladstone and them have a similar take. It makes me so happy because, like, I harped on this for weeks. Was like, there's good, but there's just not good enough.
Not good
like,
enough.
It's not good enough. Like, okay, sure. Walker Little can string together some good games, but he's not good enough. He's not. You watch him get manhandled, and it fucking blows it always happens to him at the worst fucking times, dude. Like, we could be 2nd and 10 off of a blown-up first down play. That's when he's going to get manhandled and put us in the fucking 3rd and long. Every time. Or we're going to be in the red zone. He's going to get manhandled to push us out of field goal range. Like, every fucking time.
So just another thing to think. I'm just kind of curious how a lot of people were reacting. Me personally, I love the move. What did y'all think about when Baselli got named an EVP, the vice president of operations?
Best thing that could have happened to us since we drafted him. Like, that's the best thing we could have done with Tony Baselli, other than drafting him again. Like,
I think he brings the passion that was missing in that front office.
Agreed. I think, and oh man, the more videos I see and like the things I've witnessed in real time with my own eyes already of the chemistry that he has with Gladstone, that's something we've never had in my recent memory at all, is that the Cody Rhodes of the Jaguars. You're right, bro. He just keeps enduring shit and just comes on a legendary run out of nowhere. But no, this chemistry we have in this front office is something that we haven't seen in a very long time in Jacksonville. Like we've really been experiencing the turmoil and the split decisions. Like the reason Mason Smith doesn't have a double-digit sack year, in my opinion, is because he didn't get to play the whole year.
Right.
Because you see him in the last 3 or 4 games, and he's just fucking moving people, dude. There was no stopping that guy. Once he got into a rhythm, you were not stopping him. There's
going to be a lot of half sacks this year. With that starting 4, with Eric Armstead back inside, Mason Smith and Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker, there's going to be a lot of half sacks this year where like 2 or 3 of them.
That never made any sense to me last year. Why Armstead was on the outside?
Oh, don't get us started.
Well, nothing made sense last year on defense, really. I mean, we got, and my thing is too is like you brought in Deshaun Dixon as the UDFA. You brought in Miles Cole. You brought in Yasir Abdullah. Like you bring in all these guys to be, edge rushers, and then you immediately write them off and move a D tackle out there. Like, what's the point of that? Like, put the guys in, let them play. Or if you don't trust them, just leave the starters out there who are used to playing 900 to 1,000 snaps every year.
Well,
like just start.
He is
it's ridiculous.
Hamilton is available, but I don't think Hamilton needs to be our starter. I think it's time to let Mason Smith run.
I think Hamilton will be a key player in run situations.
Agreed.
But I do think that there's going to be a point this season where Mason Smith needs to be the full-time starter at interior defensive tackle.
I think it should be day one, if you want me to be completely honest with you. I think day one you roll him out there. Well, I mean, worst case scenario, he's not quite ready for full-time starter, and you put Devon Hamilton back there because he's still capable.
This is me purely assuming that Eric Armstead is going to return to being Eric Armstead whenever he gets moved inside. Now, if Eric Armstead's still struggling, I think we still have Ham out there as the interior one tech. But I mean, it all depends too on what they're doing. But I don't know. That's my thing is like if Eric Armstead returns to his glory or whatever, like I think that's who it needs to be. But if Armstead's still struggling, I think you're flipping Mason and Armstead, or it's going to be and then you have Ham in there on the interior.
And we also need to see Jordan Jefferson. We need to get that guy some time because that guy's still a monster. Like
he's strong.
He's really strong, and like he's got plenty of chemistry with Mason Smith. Like that guy needs to get some considerable reps. Like we need to put that guy in the game. So that's it's crazy.
I got a question. Only because I can't be on all night tonight, but there is something I want to talk about before we close out the show because it was a big thing Eric Armstead said. Brenton Strange will be a top 5 tight end this year.
Agreed.
Now,
say what? Say that again.
Eric Armstead said that Brenton Strange will be a top 5 tight end this year.
I agree with that. He would have been last year.
I think that I think top 5 might be pushing it a little bit. The only reason I say that is because we've got BTJ and Travis Hunter. They're going to take a lot of catches, but I think that's going to lead him to getting more. Which he honestly, I mean, he was one of the best. He was one of the best after contact, anyways. But I mean, I think that he will be a top 10. I'm not going to slot him in guaranteed top 5, but I do think Brenton Strange, if he stays healthy and they have him as the full-time starter, I think he'll be a top 10 tight end this year. I think he's got all the tools. He's one of our only players last year who, when the play broke down, would actually look for space and went up to catch balls. But BTJ did that too. But he had the best hands on any 50-50 ball. Brenton Strange is coming down with it. He is very athletic. He's not as they don't give him enough credit for how athletic he is. But I do genuinely believe he can be a top 10 tight end in the league.
Brenton Strange is him.
But the problem's going to be do they keep him on the line for protection? How much are they going to use him to chip away on the defensive end that's rushing and stuff like that?
I think that's actually going to help him. And I think that's a great point because I think he's going to play. I think he's going to play more of the chip and release role where he's going to act like he's blocking, make sure it's good, and then he's going to drop off when Trevor looks for the check down. I think he's going to be the main check down this year.
And that's how it should be. If they're smart, that's exactly what it's going to be.
By mid-season, if Anton and Little are locking it down on the corners, I think then you start to chip less. Maybe you do a little lighter chips and you let him run more routes. I do think he's going to run a lot of routes this year. I don't think that should be twisted at all. But I do think that early in the year, he's probably going to do a lot of chipping and a lot of blocking. I do agree with that. But that does give him a lot of opportunity to release late when plays break down and get open for the check down.
Well, I'll tell you who he reminds me of is like people like Mark Andrews before Mark Andrews like started his decline. Okay. He reminds me a lot of Mark Andrews. Like Mark Andrews got off the line. He's big. He can go up, get the ball, and he's a complete mismatch on almost every linebacker. Like, just ridiculous. Just fucking absolutely ridiculous. Like, he's not quite Kelsey fast. But
no, Kelsey's not even that fast.
No, I mean, like Kelsey was in his prime.
Kelsey just knows how to find that little hole in the zone where he's at.
Kelsey's never been fast. Kelsey is the best tight end in the league, and he might be the best tight end in history at finding the opening.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He plays fast. I'm not talking about like his run speed.
I'm just saying like he honestly plays slow. He jogs most of the time. He looks around, he finds the opening, and he's the best in the league at finding the opening when the play breaks down and when there's nothing there for his quarterback.
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about, like brain fast. Like he doesn't have to sit and think like, oh shit, the play's breaking down. He's looking for something. He just naturally fucking knows. Like he plays fluidly, really fast.
It's honestly weird how physically slow he plays at times. Like you watch him play and he's walking and jogging out there, and then he finds something open and then he's running down the field.
Yeah. And Cedric, I want to point out to you, man, I'm sorry, but he brought up Diami Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Diami Brown is the biggest coin flip of any of the signings that we had.
That's the biggest thing.
He is the biggest coin flip because everybody's hot on him right now because of what he did in the playoffs this last year. But before that, nobody's talking about how, like, through 3 years, he still hadn't cracked 1,000 yards at all. Collectively, like between all three added together, We're not talking about like, oh, he hasn't hit 1,000 yards in one season. No, he hasn't hit 1,000 yards at all. So, because he's bad at separation. He's really fast, but somehow he was really bad at getting like just creating separation. He was fucking terrible at it. But in the playoffs, he turned it on. If he comes in and he takes it right back where he left off in the playoffs, and he comes in this regular season and maybe something clicked for him. Maybe now he's figuring out what works for him. Then he'll be a problem. But only then.
I don't think he's going to see the field very much.
No, he'll see the field. He's going to see the field. Absolutely.
I think Parker Washington will be on the field a lot more this year.
Well, he has to. He has to.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much of is Dyami Brown really coming in to be the number 3, or is he coming in to be the gadget guy that gets the occasional route, kind of like Jamal Agnew got, where it's like he comes in on offense and he gets that deep streak or that deep crosser over the middle that nobody's looking for. Like I think Dyami will play a good bit of snaps, but I think Washington will have more targets. I honestly think that's a genuine thing to say.
Well, that's how it should be, though. First of all, like that's not even just something that we talk about. Like that's how it should be.
Right.
Because Parker Washington is that fucking dude. Like we can't just like downplay Parker Washington. He is him. That guy goes and makes all the difficult catches, takes all the hits, and runs some of the cleanest routes of anybody we got on the team.
He does run some very nice routes.
Yes, he does. Like Parker Washington is him. I think what this really comes down to for Parker and Dyami Brown the same is how much Travis Hunter you're going to see on offense. That's what's going to come down to. Because if you got Travis Hunter out there, you don't need Parker Washington at the time because they're a very similar style, like build. They're gonna fill a similar need.
They are. We're going to see a lot more.
Similar.
I think we'll see a lot more 3 wide receiver sets than we normally do.
Yeah, no, dude. Travis Hunter and Parker Washington are like opposite builds. No, Parker Washington is a running back at wide receiver. He's
thicker, but I'm talking about like his build height size wise and his arm length.
I mean, he's 5'11", like 206 or 210. Like he's not.
He's heavy. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, no, he's not.
But you're sticking both of them in the slot. You're not putting Travis Hunter on the outside. I don't think
Travis Hunter can play outside opposite of BTJ.
He can't. No, I know he can. I just don't think they're going to. I think they're going to utilize him to cook on somebody in the slot. Playing him.
I mean, of course he's going to take slot reps, but like in a 3 wide set, I'm not putting Parker Washington as outside wide receiver. I don't think. I mean, he can play that. He's good on the deep ball. I can't see that. If we're going 3 wide, unless we're putting Dyami out there, I'm putting BTJ, Travis Hunter, and Parker Washington's in between them somewhere. Because also, too, Parker Washington's not as fast. Parker Washington's probably the slowest receiver on the roster right now.
He is.
But he has the best separation besides BTJ because he's got the best routes and the best footwork.
That I agree with. But Cedric, you're right. You're right. Their offensive coordinators did suck before they got Jaden Daniels and all that over there. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that Bro cannot create separation.
Well, we'll find out. Personally, we'll find out.
Well, yeah, we will find out. We're going to see. But I do think that Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, and Dyami Brown are going to be a trio you see a lot because they believe in Dyami Brown's ability to take the top off. And honestly, if I'm being honest, that's all a mirage. I don't really think they give a shit whether he actually gets the target. They just want somebody to take the eyeballs away from Brian. That is all the fuck he's over there for.
Exactly.
And if he gets wide open, throw him the ball. That's all it is. It is not because they really believe he's just some burner and some elite receiver. Like, it's nothing to do with that. It's absolutely just somebody to grab attention away from Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, yeah,
and they're not worried about it. If you put Parker Washington on that outside the number over there, you're not worried about him taking it off.
There's some defensive coordinator that's going to say, you know what? Screw them. They ain't going to throw it to him. Let's double Brian the whole time. And that's going to be his time to shine. It's not going to be a game, every game type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's going to be like every 3 or 4 games. Somebody's going to forget about him.
Right.
It's going to be a bomb. But that also, that's the thing too, is because it doesn't matter where you put Travis Hunter on the field or where you put Brian Thomas on the field. They're going to garner attention. Does not matter what positions they're playing out of. So you got to have a guy like Dyami that they know is fast. Mm-hmm. And they know has the ability to go off to take that attention away.
Exactly.
So, I mean, but Parker, they know Parker will go off, but they'll just shade a corner in some zone coverage and like maybe stick him with a linebacker or something, and just they'll monitor him is what they'll do. Like they'll just kind of they'll bend but don't break with Parker because Parker's not going to take the top off. So they're just going to be able to hone in on the other two. It really just comes down to how much Travis Hunter we see.
Good point.
All right. Well,
yes, it is.
Any final points on here before we cut it out?
Duval, baby.
No, Duval.
We looking good.
Well, we got like 100 days till season starts.
Yeah, I think today's either day 100 or day 99, one of the two.
Yes.
I haven't even started counting down. I just know it need to hurry up, dang it. We 3 months away.
I'm with you.
June, July, August.
What's y'all's prediction for the what do y'all think record wise this year? What are y'all looking at?
I mean, we were saying before that minimum 10 wins based on our schedule. I'm thinking we can win 12. I'm thinking we can win 12 games this year.
I think we do got a very favorable schedule this year.
We do. I think a lot of people are counting us out of a lot of games because of what our record was last year, for completely forgetting how many of those we lost by one score.
13.
Yeah, 13 we lost by one score.
10 to 11. I'm in the 10 to 11 range, I think. I think we're going to have some shootouts also this year too.
I think we're definitely going to get into some slugfests. That's a fact.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch. I think this is, I've been a fan of the team since we've had it in '95, and this is some of the best energy I've seen in the front office for the whole team in a while. It's like the energy is really there. You're really really excited. And I think that's the youth movement that we went to with our GM and our coaches. I think they're bringing in the energy level, and I think it translates over to the players.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Yeah, it does. And that's always a good thing.
But the biggest thing, we got to stay healthy.
Dum.
Oh, Trevor, your mic. All right, well, your mic, it's like scratching and staticking.
You're playing DJ.
But all right, gentlemen. Well, great episode. Thanks for coming on, Dave.
Appreciate you, Dave, man.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on some more, man. Feel free to come on sometime. Let Eric know when you're free, and we can get you on
I'll let him know. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, this is normal, normal time for us. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and watching, hanging out with us. Got 24 people in here. Duval, baby.
Duval.
We out.